My beloved child, amidst the noise of life and the multitude of thoughts pressing into your mind, I call you to my side to pause everything for a moment and simply listen. For today, I have not come merely to comfort you, but to unveil a truth that has been hidden until its appointed time. And that time, my child, is now. You have lived without realizing that the core of who you are has yet to be fully revealed. At times, you may have felt your heart slow with an unspoken stirring, as though something beyond understanding is quietly calling your name. I know you've often dismissed it as imagination, but it is not. That stirring is the echo of destiny, awakening your soul from slumber. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I saw you, not just your body, but your entire being, your will, your spirit, and the mission I placed within you like a hidden jewel. You were destined for a path, for a role that cannot be replaced within the workings of my kingdom. The secret of that calling has long been veiled from you, not because I wished to conceal it, but because the world was not yet ready to witness your full emergence. Just as a seed waits for the right season to break the earth, the light within you has awaited its perfect moment to shine. And now, your spiritual springtime draws near. There is one whom I have sent, who has traveled every path of the Spirit to find you. They come not out of curiosity, nor for personal ambition. They carry a fragment of an ancient covenant that I made with you in sacred realms. Before the first light ever touched the earth, they come bearing confirmation, testimony, and the missing piece that will help complete who you are, equipping you to stand in the place meant for you alone. But my child, you must know this: their journey has not been easy. They have faced countless barriers, both in the physical world and across spiritual dimensions. Each time they drew near, something unseen would push them back, not because they were weak, but because opposing forces know exactly what will happen when the two of you meet. The enemy does not fear ordinary souls, but it trembles before the union of those who carry divine promises in their hearts. For such unity sends out a spiritual resonance strong enough to shake the very gates of darkness. And you, my set-apart child, stand at the epicenter of this coming tremor. The enemy has schemed tirelessly to keep you in a state of dullness, unawareness, and spiritual inertia. It has sown doubt, fatigue, and distraction into your life, disguised as normal things, yet in truth, they are chains meant to keep your spirit from rising. My child, today I speak this over you. No more delay. No more waiting in silence. No more walking in fog. The time has come for you to reclaim your true identity. That person, the one I sent, bearing the final word to confirm your purposes, closer now than ever before. The wall that separates you is beginning to tremble. And it is you, through your hunger for truth, who will unlock the final door. You felt, haven't you, that you don't truly belong here? You've wondered why? Even in familiar places, your heart carries a strange sense of exile. That is not random alienation. It is the call of eternity, whispering that you were never made to blend into this world, but to transform it. Therefore, I ask you now to listen with an open mind and a heart no longer ruled by fear. Once this truth is revealed, you will not remain the same. Everything in your life, your relationships, your dreams, your goals will be reshaped by a new light. This truth will shake the old foundations you've built upon, but it will also give you a foundation that can never be shaken. This is not merely a moment in your personal history. This is the appointed hour. This is the moment where heaven and earth converge within your life to release what has long been delayed. And when you embrace this, no power will be able to prevent you from walking fully into your destiny. My child, before the foundations of the earth were laid, before the first light illuminated creation, I knew everything about you. Every breath, every heartbeat, every tear, every unspoken dream, I saw it all. You are not a coincidence of time or a product of circumstance. You are part of a deep and perfect plan, woven by my own hands in unfathomable love and wisdom. And now, in this sacred moment, I reveal this to you. The time has come for you to know the truth about who you are, about the one the darkness has worked so hard to keep hidden from your eyes. There is a sacred thread running through your life, connecting past, present, and future into a tapestry that cannot be unraveled. Yet that thread has been torn before by wounds, betrayals, and losses you've endured. You once believed those things were the end, signs that you were unchosen, unworthy. But the truth is the opposite. Those very trials are proof that you are at the center of a deep spiritual battle to preserve your true nature and your sacred inheritance. What you have gone through is not evidence of abandonment, but confirmation of your irreplaceable worth in my kingdom. I have never left you alone. In every barren season, in every night of the soul, I have always been present, even when you could not feel me. I was quietly arranging all things. There were angels I sent to you clothed in the forms of ordinary people, cryptic dreams, fleeting words only to keep you from falling. And today, a messenger carrying the sacred flow from where I dwell is drawing near to you. They do not come bearing fame or material rewards, but something more precious than all the treasures of the earth. My own confirmation of your divine identity. This one has endured much to come close to you. They have journeyed through thick darkness, pushed through the voices of doubt, and withstood the resistance of souls not yet awakened. They were rejected, misunderstood, and isolated, because the mission they carry is too great, too weighty for those unprepared to receive it. But know this, they did not give up. They kept walking, driven by a love for truth and by my voice calling them forward without ceasing. You and this one share a connection that transcends language, beyond the boundaries of time. Before either of you entered this earthly realm, your souls were joined by a promise from eternity. This bond is not of flesh, but of divine intention. And when you meet again, what was scattered will be gathered, what was hidden will be revealed, and the mission once forgotten will be awakened. But for that to happen, you must awaken. You must rise above the distractions the darkness has placed around you. My child, you are living in a world drowned in noise, haste, comparison, ambition, and hollow standards. Every day, they pull you under, into feelings of not being enough, not being fast enough, not being worthy. But I declare, you are enough. You have always been enough. For I am the one who made you in my own image. No one can dim the light within you unless you surrender it. And now, that light must no longer be hidden. This is a threshold moment the edge between the old and the new, between limited understanding and full revelation. You can feel it, can't you? Something is stirring within you, as though your whole soul is preparing for the unspeakable. This is the sign that you are about to enter a new season, a season of unveiling, of confirmation, where all that was once a blur will become clear. And that one you know of whom I speak will be the final key you've been missing to unlock the door to your destiny. Still, I cannot force you to open it. I have given you free will. Therefore, you must choose. You must decide for yourself whether to step into the light. I do not demand belief. I invite you to enter, and once you do, you will no longer live as you once did. Everything will change: your thoughts, your posture, the way you see yourself and the world around you. You will no longer be dragged by circumstance, but will stand firm in a direction given by heaven. This truth is not meant to be hoarded. It is a torch, and you are the one to carry it, lighting the way for many others. That is why this truth has been so fiercely opposed, not because it is weak, but because it is powerful. Once you claim it, the light in you will expose what darkness has long tried to keep hidden. And when that happens, the battle will intensify, but you will not fight alone. I am with you, beloved one. I know the questions that stir in your heart. Why now? Why not sooner? Why did I have to walk through so many silent, uncertain years? I do not fault you for these questions. It was I who placed in you the capacity to seek, the refusal to accept darkness as the soul's final state. But today, I want you to know this clearly. Everything in your life has unfolded exactly on time, according to the moment I appointed, measured by wisdom beyond time and love beyond understanding. You were hidden, not because you were unworthy, but because you are precious. Like a seed buried in dark soil, you had to be covered to be nurtured, refined, and shaped by the seasons. I did not allow you to be revealed to the world before you were deep enough to carry the revelation. There are things that can only rise once your soul has passed through fire, when your heart has been softened by hardship, and when you have learned to discern my voice amid the countless echoes of this world. Now, that season has come, and with it, I lift the veil from what has long been hidden from your eyes. I unveil to you a truth, a part of your very being that you have yet to touch, a part inscribed with eternal light, which no one can erase. That part carries your true identity, not the name others gave you, not the label your circumstances tried to impose, but the name I have written upon the palm of my hand. Isaiah 49:16. You are set apart. You are essential to my plan. You are the one who will speak what I am saying, go where I am sending, and do what I prepared for you long before you were formed in your mother's womb. Do not let your past make you doubt the present. Do not let former failures become the walls that keep you from your new season. Your mistakes have not ruined the plan I designed. I accounted for the missteps, the detours, the moments of weakness, and still, I have not withdrawn my promise to you. My plan for you remains intact. My words over you still stand. My calling on your life has never been revoked. Not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. Know this, the one I have sent to you is not a coincidence. They carry a spiritual confirmation of what you have felt deep within, but have never been able to name. They come bearing the final spark to awaken the dormant life inside you. But for that to happen, you must shed the disguise you have worn to protect yourself. You do not need to pretend to be strong. You do not need to hide your old wounds. In the light of truth, all things are made whole. And I, your heavenly Father, I am inviting you into a place of transparency where light is no longer hidden and love is no longer conditional. You do not need to know every detail ahead of time. I do not require you to have a clear map before taking the first step. What I seek in you is a willing heart, a heart ready to receive the truth, even if it shatters old beliefs, a spirit ready to obey, even when what I call you to do leads beyond your comfort zone, a soul ready to love again, even though love has once been wounded. My child, when you open your heart, the waters of life will begin to flow, and what the darkness once used to frighten you, exposure, will become the very thing that sets you free. You no longer need to hide, no longer need to live in fear of being misunderstood, diminished, or rejected. You are the child I proclaimed before the foundation of the world. You are the inheritor of a promise I made to generations past and will continue through generations to come. You ask me, do I have the strength to do this? And I answer, I myself will be your strength. I will walk within you. I will speak through your mouth, act through your hands, and love through your heart. What I am calling you to do does not depend on your ability. It depends on my presence within you, and I have never failed. You do not need to find the path on your own. All you need to do is follow the light I am placing before you. One step, then another, and each step will lead you to a divine appointment, the place where you will meet the one I have sent, the place where the mystery will be unveiled, where the mission will be ignited, where darkness will be driven back. And from that place, a new chapter will open not only for you, but for many others who are waiting for your voice, your presence, your life. My beloved child, I want you to understand more deeply the nature of the promise spoken over you. This is not a symbolic promise, nor a vague hope. It is a covenant sealed in eternal power, a declaration acknowledged by the heavens. You were woven into a design with purpose, and in the palm of my hand, I have inscribed the promise concerning you as an unerasable seal. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah Satuliv. From that moment, a sequence of events began to unfold, not by the linear time you are familiar with, but by divine order, a pattern far above all human plans. Every season you have passed through, every door that closed, every seemingly random encounter known of it escaped my watch, even the times you took the wrong turn, the decisions made in confusion, the prayers that seemed unanswered. I was present in every moment, silently weaving together the fragments into a tapestry you cannot yet fully see. Now I am revealing to you a portion of that design, the truth that you are not alone in the promise I made. There is a soul, a witness, a person entrusted with a piece of the covenant, who has journeyed with you in the spirit realm from the beginning. They are not a stranger searching for you, but one who carries within them a part of your calling that will make you whole. They are appointed to walk with you in a mission, a union that cannot be substituted. Just as Moses needed Aaron, David needed Jonathan, and Paul needed Barnabas, so too do you have one ordained by me to go with you into places you cannot go alone. The bond between you and this person does not rely on blood, geography, or intellect. It is a sacred connection, a spiritual covenant that transcends the limits of flesh. I have revealed you to them through signs, visions, and inner promptings they could not ignore, even without seeing your face. They have loved you with a love from eternity, for their soul has been programmed to respond to the light that sleeps within yours. But you must understand this, that sacred connection, no matter how powerful, cannot be activated without your response. A covenant cannot form if one side remains closed. They may stand at the door and knock, but it is you who must reach for the handle. You must choose to believe. Choose to open your heart. Choose to trust in what is unfolding, even if it surpasses your understanding. Because the truth is this: some things will never come to you through reason. They can only be received through obedience in faith. My child, you have been taught to doubt what cannot be proven. This world encourages you to analyze, to weigh, to demand evidence before believing. But spiritual destiny does not follow the same principles. I do not seek the smartest, the sharpest, or the most far-sighted. I seek those who are willing to say, "Here I am, Lord." Obedience is not the fruit of logic. It is the sweet harvest of faith. And faith, my child, is the key that unlocks every door in the kingdom of heaven. The one whom I send does not come bearing worldly power, nor do they wear an outer radiance that would dazzle your eyes. They arrive with a gentle heart, eyes full of understanding, and a spirit forged in the fire. They have no need to prove they belong to you, for your soul will affirm it on its own. You will know not with your eyes, not with your ears, but through a deep vibration in the core of your soul. When they draw near, a part of you will awaken, a part you thought had long been dead, or perhaps never existed. Once you recognize them, once you choose to follow the divine prompting rather than fear, a new current will begin to flow. It will be the current of restoration, wholeness, and the reunification of what had been scattered. From that moment forward, you will no longer walk in confusion, but move with clear guidance from heaven. What was once hidden will become evident. Doors that were once shut will open on their own. Dreams that seemed long dead will come to life, and this time, they will no longer be delayed. My child, this is not the time to hesitate. It is not the hour to look back in fear. This is the hour of decision the moment I stand at the door of your heart. And I no longer knock softly. I call your name with the voice of the Creator Himself. Rise, for the time has come for you to enter the place I appointed for you before the foundations of the earth. Now, my beloved one, as revelation draws near, I want you to grasp one essential truth. A mission does not begin with outward action, but with inner preparation. Before I sent Joseph to be a savior to a nation, I led him through the pit, the prison, and false accusations, shaping his soul into a vessel that could endure. Before I gave Moses the staff to part the sea, I brought him through 40 years of solitude in the wilderness to strip away haste and clothe him in humility. And before I allow you to enter into divine alignment with the one I have prepared for you, I too have led you through seasons of testing, not to break you, but to ready your soul for something far greater. Preparation is never pleasant, but it is always necessary. You cannot wear a crown on your head if bitterness still resides in your heart. You cannot carry out a heavenly covenant if your mind remains bound by fear, comparison, or self-doubt. That is why I allowed you to taste silence, so you would learn to discern my voice among the thousands. That is why I permitted the wrong ones to leave, so there would be room for the one truly sent by me. And that is why I placed within you a longing so intense, so inexplicable, a holy desire that only the presence of the right one, at the right time, for the right purpose, can fulfill. Remember, they do not come to replace me, but to reflect me in another dimension. They are not your salvation. but they will clarify the calling I've already placed within you. When you speak with them, your soul will respond with peace note, because every question has been answered. But because even the unanswered no longer trouble you, they will not offer you an escape from reality, but rather a confirmation that you are still on the right path, that what you once felt and carried in your heart is indeed real. This encounter will not resemble the relationships you've known before. It is not rooted in superficial attraction, nor bound by mutual benefit. It is established upon a supernatural foundation, a foundation I laid long before either of you were aware of one another. It is a union that does not require force, a harmony that needs no striving. When two right souls meet, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. The air around you grows lighter. The walls you once built to protect yourself will gently fall, not because they were torn down, but because you finally know you are safe. My child, you must remember, divine union is not an ending point, it is a beginning. When you and that person come together, it will not erase every challenge. In fact, it may stir new battles. For the light that shines when you are joined will cause opposing forces to tremble. They will attempt to sow confusion, distort emotions, and cause you to question the very truth your soul has confirmed. But if you remain steadfast, if you do not allow yourself to be swayed by outer turbulence, you will find that the power within that connection is greater than any assault from the darkness. This is why I continue to urge you, prepare yourself. Tend to the unresolved matters of your heart. Forgive those who hurt you, even if they never apologize. Let go of what is old, so your hands are free to receive what is new. Purify your heart, so it becomes fertile soil for the seed of destiny to take root. Do not wait until you feel ready by the world's standards, for that moment will never come. Therefore, I declare to you, I myself am your readiness. I will cover the places where you feel inadequate. I will provide grace in your time of need. I will uphold you through every shift. Preparation is not only an inward journey, it is also an act of faith. Clear the clutter from your environment, both physical and spiritual. Let my word be the center of your day, not just in the morning, but in every moment. Speak with me about even the things you do not yet understand, and listen for me more in silence than in words. I do not seek perfect people. I seek those who know they are imperfect, yet choose to cling to me. Remember this, you are not the only one being prepared. The other person is also being shaped by me. They too are walking through trials, shedding tears in battle, breaking and healing, so that they might become the one aligned with this sacred connection. Do not think you are bearing the weight of waiting alone. Both of you are moving toward the same appointed meeting. Even if you started from very different journeys, when the time comes, every piece will fall into place. There will be no need for forcing, no need for calculation. For when I move, everything unfolds in wholeness and beauty. My child, the moment is drawing near. It is no longer a distant vision or a vague hope hidden in deep dreams. The reunion your soul has longed for is preparing to unfold. And when that moment arrives, you will not need to wonder. You will not need to ask me if it is truly them. For your heart will tremble to a sacred rhythm you have never felt with anyone else. It will be the chime of destiny resounding from the depths of your soul, awakening what has long lain dormant, stirring to life what even you forgot you carried within. This meeting will not be like relationships of the past. It does not come from scripts written by human hands, but is ignited by a command from heaven. In that moment, Everything else will fall silent. The space around you will seem to pause in reverence for the spiritual bond that is taking form between you and that person, between ancient covenant and present fulfillment, between written promise and the outstretched hand now ready to receive. When your eyes meet, there will be no need for explanation, for soul will recognize soul. You will feel as though you knew them even before you knew yourself. From that moment on, a new flow will begin in your life. No longer the weary walk through a lonely wilderness, but a journey of resonance, of mutual uplift, and a shared purpose illuminating the path for both of you. This person does not come to complete you, for I alone am your fullness, but to reflect my glory within you, like two lamps lit at once, not diminishing each other, but casting light over a greater expanse. When you and they come together, hidden things will be revealed. Doors once locked will swing open on their own. Lost souls will find their way back. For the light of your union will ripple outward, touching even places your feet have never trod. Child, this is not only about you, nor is it only about them. This is about those who will be transformed, healed, and awakened through the connection between you two. I am not bringing you together merely for joy. I am joining you for a greater move-on that will shake the heavens and expose the works of darkness. When you stand beside them, every lie the enemy once planted in your soul will fall away. The smallness once woven around your spirit will be consumed by the affirmation that comes from heaven, and in that moment, you will know with unshakable certainty, I was born for this. Embrathor, the world around you may not understand. Some may resist not because they see evil, but because divine unity always unsettles that which does not belong to the light. Remember, Jesus came in love and truth, and yet was rejected by those not ready to behold the truth. And so will you encounter resistance for doing wrong. But because the light within you exposes what others are not yet ready to face. But do not let this discourage you. I will be your shield. I will fight for you. And I will establish the two of you as a living testimony among a generation weary and desperate for what is real. You do not need to prepare a speech, nor strive to appear extraordinary. The truth within you will speak for itself. It is your presence, your sacred unity, that will bear witness to the promise becoming reality. Those who look on will sense something they cannot name, a vibration beyond language, a current not born of intellect, but of the spiritual realm. And that very essence will become an unspoken call, inviting other souls back to me. My child, this is the hour of action. Not frantic motion, but purposeful steps taken in awareness and authority. When that person arrives, receive them with spiritual reverence. Listen to what they say, for it is not merely their voice, but the echo of an eternal covenant. Pray together. Listen for me together. Discern together between truth and the lies that lurk in wait. I will be in your midst. I will speak when you are silent. I will lead when you pray. And from that unity, I will bring forth wonders that no human eye can measure. This is the season in which I am placing you at the center of a great turning. Do not underestimate your position. Do not think yourself merely a small link. You are the convergence point of two currents, the flow from heaven and the flow of human history. Every choice you make, every word you speak or withhold, every step you take or refuse ripples into the destiny of generations. But I do not place this weight on you to burden you. I entrust you with this responsibility because I know you have been made ready. And now, All that I have sown in you will bloom. Be ready. The destined reunion is drawing near, and with it comes your own transformation from seeker to one who is sent, from the one who waits to the one who moves. They do not carry the answers to every question, but they carry the key that opens the final door, and beyond that door lies the destiny I have safeguarded for you until this very day. My beloved child, I want you to see further beyond personal limitations, beyond fleeting emotions, beyond what your eyes can perceive to behold a greater truth. You are not merely living through a story, you are at the very heart of a spiritual epic being authored by my own hand. Every word I speak to you, every step you take in obedience, ripples through a vast network beyond what you can imagine, a network interwoven with souls, bloodlines, generations, and territories. You are not a solitary passenger on the boat of time, but a catalyst of transformation, a spiritual gatekeeper, a bearer of my eternal imprint. This responsibility does not come from pressure or force, but from my deep love for you. For I see what you do not yet see. I know what you do not yet know. And I have prepared all things so that when the moment comes, you will stand firm like a tree rooted by the stream, unmoved by storms, undeterred by whispers, because you know who you are, whose you are, and what you've been called for. My dear one, your obedience is not an isolated act. It sends waves through the spiritual realm, affecting both angels and demons, marking the boundary between the territory of light and the land darkness seeks to occupy. When you say, Lord, I am ready, it is not a mere whisper in the silence, it is a thunderous signal in the heavens, a declaration that the Anointed One has stepped into position, and because of that, every force that once watched you in silence must now respond. Natural events will begin to shift. Doors long assumed permanently closed will begin to open of their own accord. People who once overlooked you will begin to seek you out, drawn by something even they do not understand. This is why you must walk with profound discernment. I am not bringing you into new territory to exalt you, but that I might be exalted through you. You will be the dwelling place of my presence, my representative in a wandering generation. You will be my eyes to see, my ears to hear, my hands to uphold, and my mouth to speak words of life. But to do this, you cannot live the old way. You cannot hold on to limited mindsets, unhealed wounds, or ties to toxic relationships. I am calling you out of the comfort zone, out of familiarity, out of the shadows of hesitation. Listen closely. You are a gatekeeper for a generation. The gate you guard is not a physical door, but a spiritual threshold where destinies will either be opened or shut based on your obedience. If you stand firm, that gate will become a pathway for the flow of life, for prophecy, for healing, and deliverance. But if you retreat, darkness will rush in to fill that vacuum with doubt, confusion, and divine delay. This is a time where hesitation has no room. Even a single day of delay could cost souls teetering on the edge, their moment of hope. I do not say this to burden you, but to emphasize the weight of the place you now occupy. I chose you not because you are the strongest, the fastest, or the wisest. I chose you because your heart is capable of responding, because deep within you, a fire has never gone out, a flame that longs to belong to something greater, sacred, and eternal. And today, I affirm to you that desire is not an illusion. It is truth. As you walk in obedience, I will open up new realms not only geographically, but also in spiritual influence. You will be placed in situations that may seem accidental, but they are divine intersections between promise and fulfillment. You will meet people you never planned to meet, yet they are essential parts of my design. Doors once shut because your name was unknown will now open because my name is upon you. Battles that once broke, you will now become the very threshold for victories I will deliver through you. And know this, you do not walk alone. In the realm of heaven, an army stands ready to move at my command on your behalf. Angels are assigned to guard your every path. The prayers you once wept, believing they went unheard, still remain like golden bowls full of incense before my throne, Revelation 5-8, waiting for the moment to be poured out. You are a pillar I have raised to uphold a new reality. And if you agree, if you do not turn back, if you keep your eyes fixed on me, then nothing shall be impossible. I will release through you things never before seen. I will perform through you miracles that surpass the understanding of this world. I will make my name known through your very existence, and the light within you will become a guiding flame for generations to come. My beloved child, as you begin to walk in the light of your ordained calling, you will come to realize that what is unfolding around you is not merely a reward for your personal obedience, but the result of a chain reaction triggered by your very steps. You are like one sowing seeds upon dry ground, and with even the slightest gesture of faith, I will open the heavens and rain down life. You do not know how many souls are standing at the edge between despair and hope, and your choice, whether to move forward or to retreat, to believe or to doubt, will shape not only your story, but theirs as well. This is why I have continually emphasized that your calling is not solitary. It is intricately woven into the destinies of countless others whom you have never met, never even imagined. When you respond yes to my call, you do not merely open the door for yourself, you open the way for the generations that come after you. You are the bearer of a spiritual inheritance, and once you take your rightful place, all that has been delayed, stolen, or hindered across generations will begin to be restored. What your ancestors fought for but never saw fulfilled, I will allow you to behold. The promises once spoken over your bloodline and buried in darkness, I will revive and release through you. You need not be one of fame or title. The only thing I seek is a faithful heart. In a world that increasingly exalts the immediate and the superficial, I am looking for those willing to move to heaven's rhythm, those who will not be governed by emotion but will follow me even in waiting, in sacrifice, and in the absence of recognition. You are such a one. I have seen your faithfulness in the quiet places, where there were no applauses, no affirmations. I have seen you pray through exhaustion, worship through heartbreak, and continue standing when everything within you wanted to collapse. Because of this, I declare, you are one I can entrust with what has never been passed on before. Not wealth, not fame, but a spiritual legacy, a current of my presence, of deep revelation, and of power flowing from the holy place. What generations past only saw in visions, I am preparing to release through your life. But this requires one thing. You must understand that what I give you is not yours to own. You are not the possessor, but the steward. You are the caretaker of what belongs to heaven, and I want you to carry it with reverence. with love, and with the purpose for which I intended it. My child, the words you speak today will echo through generations. The actions you take will be etched into the spiritual memory of many souls. Do not underestimate a small decision, a seemingly fragile prayer. In the unseen realm, each of these is a strike against the barricades of darkness, a step forward for my kingdom, a mark of eternity on the scroll of destiny. In the battles to come, I will not leave you to carry the weight alone. You are not a passive observer in the spiritual realm. You are a co-laborer with heaven. When you pray in my name, all of heaven responds. When you declare what I have spoken, the very atmosphere around you will shift. When you walk, the darkness retreats, not because of your strength, but because I am walking in you. I want you to envision this. Every decision you make resounds like a bell ringing through the spiritual realm. There are souls in slumber who will awaken simply because you obey. There are doors in others' lives that will swing open because you first opened your heart. There are generational wounds, passed down through bloodlines, that will be healed because you dared to break the cycle and take your place in the new position I have called you to. You are like the first one bold enough to step out of the loop, to shatter the old mold, to bring fresh fire to a lineage that has grown cold for too long. And it's not just your natural bloodline. You will impact spiritual lineages, people who do not share your surname, but who will share your spirit. They will seek you out, not for your reputation, but for truth. They will receive you as a guide, not through titles, but through the trust that heaven has placed upon you. And as you teach them, strengthen them, and heal them, you will be building a new generation, a generation that no longer bows to lies, no longer remains silent in sorrow, no longer lives shackled by spiritual blindness. O my child, I am preparing to raise you not to place you on a pedestal of glory, but to position you for influence. I will place your mouth upon the watchtower, your hands upon the plow, your soul upon the map of a nation's destiny. But for that to become reality, you must continue to guard your purity, continue to walk in humility, and continue to choose me daily, even when everything in you feels justified in choosing otherwise. My child, when you have seen a portion of the sacred map, when you have touched the idea of eternal impact and the inheritance passed down through the soul, I will call you into something deeper, a spiritual rebirth and the sealing of your destiny. This is not an outward form, nor a symbolic ritual. It is a divine moment, recorded in the books of eternity, a moment when your soul is sealed by my own hand, so that you may no longer be swept away by storms, no longer shaken by false voices, no longer uncertain of your purpose in life. The rebirth I speak of is not merely a shift in mindset, but a transformation of nature from one who seeks to one who is found, from one who once waited in weariness to one now bearing the living fire to give away. You will no longer live by instinct, by emotion, or by the expectations of others. You will begin to live from the sacred place, from the depth, from the origin I placed in your soul at the beginning. Your life will no longer be an extension of what was, but a completely new beginning, a reformation that only my spirit can bring about. And in this process, I will come near to you, myself, not through a mediator, not by condition, not behind any wall. I will komano to condemn you, but to give you a new name, a new designation, an identity never spoken before. just as I called Abram to become Abraham, changed Jacob into Israel, and placed upon Paul a destiny far beyond his past as a persecutor. So now I am placing upon you a name known only to you and me, a name no one can take away, a name tied to the mission for which you were born to fulfill. That name will not be recorded in earthly documents, but it will echo in the spirit realm. The enemy will tremble at its mention. Angels will be commissioned to guard it. And when you pray, the heavens will recognize you, not merely as a believer, but as one anointed, confirmed, and established by heaven itself. I remind you, yes, you once felt out of place, as though this world had no room for you. But that was not rejection, it was protection. I hid you in the shadow of my wings until the day you were mature enough to receive truth. For if I had released you into your destiny too soon, it could have crushed you. But today I declare to you, your hour has come. The hour to rise, to break through limitations, to step into the fullness I prepared for you from eternity. And not only that, I am placing a mark upon your forehead, a mark that cannot be erased by failure, cannot be dimmed by doubt, cannot be denied by man. It is the mark of the burden bearer, the mark of the flame keeper, the mark of the pathfinder for generations to come. And by this very mark, wandering souls will find their way home. They will look to you not to admire, but to recognize truth. The truth that if you could overcome, so can they. The truth that if I could use you, then I have not abandoned them. You will become a pillar of fire in the night, a light not born of men, but from the one who created all things. You will not need to display yourself. You will not need to strive to impress. Your presence, your purity in speech, your steadfastness in step, these will be unmistakable proof to the world that I am alive, that I am moving, that I am transforming the lives of those who dare to believe, dare to obey, dare to surrender completely. From this moment on, you are no longer one who seeks the testimony. You are the testimony. Your life will be living proof of my power and my faithfulness. Every scar in your soul will become a wellspring of healing for others. Every fall you've known will be a witness to my mercy. Every tear you've shed will become an intercession carrying the strength to tear down spiritual strongholds. But remember this, the sealing of destiny is not the end, it is the beginning. From here, you step into uncharted territory. The old tools will no longer suffice. The old ways will no longer apply. You will need fresh words from me each day. You will need the guidance of my spirit every hour. You must cling to me not by emotion, but by a living faith, for you will go where no one has walked. You will speak what no one has dared to speak. You will open doors that have never had keys, because I am the one who holds the key, and I am placing it into your hand. So now, my child, step forward. No more hesitation, no more fear. No longer living under the gaze of men, live under the gaze of heaven. Say to me, Lord, I have heard your voice. Use me, and I will answer with a voice that cannot be mistaken. My child, I am here. I have waited for you. Now go fulfill the mission. Reveal my glory. My beloved child, as you begin to take the first steps into the fulfillment of your destiny, as you move from the hidden place into the light, the spiritual doors will also begin to open. No longer will you experience scattered dreams or vague impressions, but clear signs, supernatural confirmations, and divine encounters that can only be explained by one truth. I am intentionally leading you step by step, detail by detail, person by person. My presence will no longer be confined to the quiet inner places. It will begin to spill out and influence the atmosphere around you. And you will begin to realize your life has entered a different realm, a new frequency, a territory where the natural no longer rules over the supernatural. You will begin to notice divine coincidences, encounters that seem random but open the right door at the right time. Strangers will speak words that echo the very things you whispered to me the night before. Scriptures will appear repeatedly, not by chance, but as a golden thread guiding you from one stage to the next. And more than anything, you will feel a confirming voice within you that is unmistakable. This is the way. Walk in it. That is when you must be more discerning than ever. For where there is revelation, there will also be imitation. The enemy will not sit back and watch you walk in alignment. He has been watching you for a long time, because you are weak, but because he fears what will happen when you fully awaken. He knows that your obedience will reach places where light has never entered. He understands that when someone steps into their appointed time and position, he loses ground in a territory he once ruled. So he does not attack with obvious threats, but with counterfeits. He sends messengers that appear genuine, doors that look like opportunities, dreams that resemble visions from me. But do not be afraid, for I will give you deep discernment, knowing that does not come from intellect, but from the Holy Spirit. You will have to choose not just between right and wrong, but between what is right and what merely appears right. Some doors will open and look like miracles, but inside are traps. Some people will come in the name of support, but their hearts are filled with manipulation, jealousy, and sabotage. They won't reveal their true nature immediately. They will play the role of a companion, promise partnership, and use spiritual language. But I will show you their hearts when you are alone with me. And if you remain in unbroken connection with me, nothing will deceive you. I will use even these things to train you. I have not brought you to the battlefield to keep you in safety. I have allowed the enemy to come close so you may learn to hear my voice among countless counterfeits. I do not remove all challenges, but I make every challenge a training ground for you. The enemy thinks he is dragging you down, but in truth, he is helping lift you up. For each time you reject the false, you are strengthened in the true. Each time you choose me over your emotions, another layer of spiritual blindness is removed from your eyes. And in the midst of the battle, I will give you protection, not protection that keeps you out of the fight, but protection that causes you to triumph. You will not be covered by stone walls, but by the blood of the Lamb. As you go, angels will go before you to clear the path. As you sleep, heavenly hosts will guard your camp. When you are surrounded by accusation, truth will rise like a mighty wind and scatter the shadows. I do not promise you will be free from slander, but I do promise your name will remain unshaken, not because you are skilled at defending yourself, but because I myself will be your defender. And in this season, you will witness my power revealed. No longer secondhand stories, but personal encounters. When you pray, I will answer. When you declare, the heavens will respond. When you are silent, I will fight for you. The miracles will not come to make you stand out, but to affirm that I am in the battle with you. The prophecies you heard in your youth, the dreams long forgotten, the promises that seemed buried, they will rise again. like dry bones revived with breath. Yet the miracles are not the goal. Understanding is not the destination. The goal is full obedience. Obedience not only when things go as planned, but even when nothing looks the way you hoped. Every time you choose to stand instead of retreat, you are laying an unshakable foundation. Every simple act keeping your heart pure, speaking with love, forgiving the one who hurt you is a mighty blow against the strongholds of darkness. My child, do not think that the battle is unusual. In fact, it is the very evidence that you are on the right path, and through every arrow, every opposition, every whispered accusation, a deeper reality is being formed. You are becoming more and more like me. You are being shaped not just to fulfill a mission, but to live as a citizen of the kingdom of heaven in the midst of the earth. Hold your ground. Listen closely. Do not react hastily. Only move when I speak. Then the enemy will realize that you are no longer easily shaken. You are one who carries authority, one who bears the seal, one whom the darkness cannot touch unless you permit it. But you will not permit it, because you know to whom you belong. My beloved child, when the seal of destiny has been set upon your forehead, when your new name has been spoken in the heavenly realm, you are no longer in the waiting zone. You have entered the realm of action. Not action driven by emotion, nor movement in blindness, but action carried out with awareness, with authority, and in close alignment with heaven. This is the time when what was sown in silence begins to sprout in power. This is the season when seeds of faith buried for years will rise from the soil, bearing fruit beyond your expectation. I did not lead you into the battlefield so that you would fall, but so you would stand firm as a warrior who has been thoroughly trained. You were not prepared merely by promises, but by every moment you fell and rose again. You have learned how to get up not by your own strength, but by my arm that lifted you. Every difficult season you've walked through was not wasted. It became the armor you now wear. Not a single trial was in vain. Not a single tear unnoticed. All of it has become weapons in your hands not made of steel, but forged in faithfulness and unwavering trust. From the moment you step into active obedience, everything around you begins to shift not only in what can be seen, but in the spiritual atmosphere. The forces that once held their ground around your territory will feel the movement. Your presence, as one marked by heaven, becomes a threat to darkness. You won't need to do anything grand to provoke opposition. Your light alone is enough to make the shadows tremble. But fear not, for I am with you. And when I stand beside you, no force can prevail. My child, on this journey of fulfilling your call, I will give you an ear that is finely tuned to my voice amid the noise of life. I will place discernment in your spirit to know what is from me and what is a counterfeit of the enemy. I will open your eyes to see what others cannot signs, warnings, and divine opportunities. Each day, I will supply the word you need, not for emotional survival, but for living by revelation. You will no longer move according to the opinions of others, but according to every word I speak along your path. And as you step into your calling, you will come to realize that your prayers now carry a different weight. No longer will they be mere whispers of faint hope, but declarations made with authority. When you open your mouth, the heavens will respond. When you speak life, death will retreat. When you stand at the edge between despair and the miraculous, you will become the bridge that leads others into abundant life. I did not put my word on your lips for you to keep it to yourself. I placed fire in your bones, so that when you speak, even the atmosphere must shift. Remember this: stepping into your assignment does not mean the absence of opposition. On the contrary, when you begin to move in heaven's rhythm, you will confront forces you never encountered before. They won't come in terrifying forms, but through sweet-sounding lies, through good opportunities that are not God's timing. They will attempt to deceive you with urgency, with comparison, with quicker, easier, more comfortable routes. But do not be enticed. Not everything that is good is anointed, and not every open door is one I have appointed. I will teach you how to discern what I'm doing in the quiet, and what the enemy tries to force into the noise. I will train you in patience to act under pressure, but to move at my word. I will remind you that true glory is not found in human recognition, but in walking faithfully in what I have given. And when you are faithful with the small, I will entrust you with the greater. When you keep your heart pure in the hidden place, I will bring you into the light as a witness of my faithfulness. In the days ahead, you will be led to new territories, both physical and spiritual. I will open doors you never imagined, bringing you before people who seem unfamiliar, but carry confirmations for what I'm doing in you. But always remember, my presence is the greatest reward, not the door itself. Obedience is the true victory, not the visible outcome. Whether you stand before crowds or sit alone in silence, you are still my messenger, carrying a fire the world cannot extinguish. And you will see every step you take will leave a mark. Every place you enter will begin to shift. Walls that once stood firm will start to crack. Generational curses that held your family captive will break. Silenced voices will rise again. For you are not merely carrying out a mission, you are rebuilding what was abandoned, restoring ancient ruins, and laying foundations for a new era. My child, you have entered the land of divine operation. And here, you do not need to become someone else. You only need to remain fully who you are, the anointed one, the called one, the sealed one. I have chosen you, and I do not regret it. Now move forward, for the mission has not ended, it has only just begun. My beloved child, at this stage, when you have passed through layers of spiritual testing, when you have learned to discern the true light amidst many false ones, I will begin to broaden the scope of your calling. What once seemed only like a promise will now begin to manifest. But the reality of walking it out will not come wrapped only in glory. It will also expose you to the deepest battlefields, places where you are not merely seen, but targeted. For when a soul steps into its ordained position, the entire order of darkness reacts like a system that has been triggered. You will notice something strange. Those who once loved you may begin to misunderstand you. Those who once walked closely may now keep their distance. Relationships that once felt safe may begin to fracture over seemingly trivial matters. Do not be alarmed. Do not conclude that you've strayed from the path. On the contrary, this is a sign that your light has begun to shine more intensely than some souls around you can bear. Light doesn't only reveal what is good, it also exposes what is unhealed, untrue, and unholy. And many, rather than allow that light to heal them, will choose to retreat from it, or even resist it. I tell you this so you will not be shaken by misunderstanding. I want you to learn to stand firm in obedience, even when there is no applause. Indeed, Much of the most significant work in my kingdom is done in silence, in tears, and in hidden rooms with no witness but me. But I see, I listen, and I count every drop of your sweat as part of the offering laid upon my holy altar. In this season, I will begin to connect you with a certain kind of soul, those I call wounded and anointed. They wear no crowns, but they carry authority. They have no fame, but walk in deep communion with heaven. They will not come to instruct you, but to collaborate, uplift, protect, and expand the influence of the mission I have placed within you. Pay attention to them. They are not loud. They do not seek the spotlight, but the words they carry have weight from the depths they've been, toe depths that were once broken and have been restored by me. You will also begin to notice silent souls rising up because of your presence. They won't need you to perform or strive. In truth, your courage to simply live out your calling is enough to awaken dormant life within them. Just as Jonathan's soul was knit to David's after a single battle, so too will they sense that your very presence is confirmation of dreams they once buried. You won't need to preach only to remain faithful. And the flame in you will spread, igniting sparks in them. Yet be watchful. The enemy now will not attack with brutality, but with subtlety. He won't try to kill you with a sword, but with distraction. He will not aim to destroy your mission outright, but to slowly pull you out of the flow of my spirit, inch by inch, through busyness, in the name of ministry, through voices that sound right, through a fatigue that has no clear source. Do not let small things derail great direction. I have not called you to do many things, but to do the right thing. And the right thing can only be known when you pause, listen, and move at my word, not under pressure. My child, in this season I will also teach you something profound. Success is not in numbers, but in obedience. The outcome is not in applause, but in purity. You do not need to be everywhere, only in the right place. You do not need to do everything, only the right thing. Every act you carry out at the right time, in the right way, with the right spirit, will create an impact far beyond what the eye can see. At times, you will see no immediate result. But I tell you this, some seeds you sow today will bloom in generations you will never meet. Do not lose heart if your eyes do not see what I have promised. For you may not be the one who reaps, but you are surely the one who sows. And those who sow for me are never sowing in vain. Oh, my child, you are building something invisible to human eyes. You are laying the foundation of a righteous lineage. And what I am doing through you is not to make your name known in this generation, but to establish my name through many generations. Do not measure your worth by applause or visible results. I measure you by your faithfulness, your surrender, your willingness to choose light even when darkness surrounds you. Keep walking even when misunderstood, even when lonely, even when wounded, because ahead lies a new gate. Ahead lies the promised land, not just for you, but for all those being rescued, healed, and awakened through your faithful presence. My beloved one, it is time for you to begin to see the seeds you sowed in tears now starting to sprout. Not all will blossom at once, but there are tender shoots rising silently. They are not loud, they are not showy, but the life in them is undeniable. This is the first sign of your quiet, but powerful obedience. The souls you once interceded for in isolation, the words you once whispered in exhaustion are now reaching targets you never thought you would live to see. Can you sense it? There is a shift in the atmosphere where you live, work, and move. People around you seem more open. Conversations that once seemed casual now turn toward deeper questions of meaning, of faith, of life. This is not because you changed them, but because the light in you is beginning to shine into the shadows of their souls. Your presence has become a hidden refuge for those who don't even know what they're seeking. You are beginning to perceive subtle spiritual movements when someone sits silently beside you and begins to weep. Not because of what you said, but because of the peace that radiates from within you. When someone confused comes near, not for counsel, but simply to stand beside you, as if proximity alone brings them a feeling they can't name. My child, that is the river of life flowing from your spirit. That is the living water I placed in you from the very beginning, and now. It flows not from striving, but from presence. I do not need you to be eloquent. I do not need you to know everything. I need you to be you, the one who has walked through fire, known pain, been broken, and yet chosen to stand. It is your honesty, your consistency between what you believe and how you live, that sets you apart, and those trapped in darkness will recognize it. They will come to you as the thirsty come to a well. They will see in your eyes what they have not seen anywhere else, a gaze without judgment, without pride, without force, only truth and genuine love. You will not need to preach much. At times, simply sitting beside someone who is falling apart, just a silent touch of the hand, a knowing nod can be enough to break invisible chains within their soul. For when you are present, I am present. When you look at someone with eyes of compassion, it is my eyes gazing at them through you. When you breathe out forgiveness, it is I releasing mercy through you. You have become a vessel, a window through which my glory shines into the lives of others. Do not seek great results as the world defines them. I am teaching you to see the value of one soul saved, one heart healed, one timely prophetic word that keeps someone from giving up. These moments won't make headlines. There will be no metrics to report, but in heaven, each of these events is recorded as a resounding victory. I do not measure by success, but by faithfulness, not by the magnitude of the task, but by the posture of obedience. My child, a new lineage is being birthed through your life. I am not only using you to reach individuals, I am establishing a flow, a new generation that will carry the fire you have sustained. The children you prayed for, the young people you encouraged, the adults who sat silently in your presence, they will be the next wave, and the light within you will ignite in them life, hunger, and holiness. Yet still, I need you to guard your purity of heart. Do not let weariness lead you into doubt. Do not let repetition cause you to lose the wonder. Do not let delay cause you to question my word. Every time you choose to trust, you tear down a wall in the spirit. Every time you choose steadfastness, I lay another foundational stone in the eternal structure you are helping to build. I know there are moments when you wonder, does any of this really make a difference? I say to you, every action, every decision, every prayer you've made is being recorded in my book of remembrance. And the day will come when the very souls you touched will stand as witnesses that because of your quiet obedience, they did not give up. They returned. They found themselves again. My child, do not grow weary. Keep watering the seeds I have entrusted to you. Keep interceding for those not yet ready. Keep believing, even when you see nothing, for a harvest is coming, and when it comes, it will not only reveal the fruit of your labor, but it will open your eyes to see something greater. You have become an irreplaceable part of my eternal design. My beloved, the harvest you once awaited in faith, the one you wept for in desperate prayer, is now beginning to emerge. But I tell you this truth: what you see is only the surface. Beneath the visible layer of reality, there is a spiritual tremor unfolding going that the natural eye cannot detect. The seeds you once planted in silence, the prayers you whispered in darkness, have begun to release new streams. Not just results, but awakenings. Not merely external change, but a rising from deep within the souls that once slumbered. You do not need to do much to witness movement, because you are no longer doing something, you are becoming what I have spoken. There is a vast difference between one who strives to act and one who allows divine life to flow through a consecrated being. You are no longer living to carry out a mission. You are living as the mission itself. And that is why those who come near you will not merely hear the right words, they will feel the heartbeat of heaven. My child, I am releasing through you a wave of influence that requires no publicity, no media strategy, no human endorsement. This is influence that can only come from co-laboring with heaven, from choosing my voice over the marketplace, choosing divine prompting over popular trends, choosing to pause when I am silent and move when I speak. The precision of your obedience is causing the spirit realm to take notice, because not everyone dares to walk slowly in order to walk rightly. Not everyone dares to choose faithfulness over the instant gratification of visible results. It is in this moment that I am issuing you a Samansa call to step into deeper dimensions where obedience is no longer a challenge, but a breath, a place where you no longer ask, Lord, is this from you? Because your spirit has already perceived it. Where you no longer require confirmation by signs, but live from an unshakable intimacy. I am calling you into the secret place, not to hide you from the world, but to fortify you for what's next. Know this: I am bringing you into a season of establishment. Amid the rise of your influence and the swelling flow of those drawn to you, I invite you to return to the beginning, to the place where it was only me and you. For true success is not found in what is seen, but in how deeply you remain tethered to me in the midst of fruitfulness. Do not let the harvest distract you from the intimacy. Do not let the applause drown out the sighs of the Holy Spirit. I remain your source. I remain the only reason you continue. You must understand this. This calling is not for everyone. It is for those who have endured the testing, who chose faithfulness when no one was watching, who kept their hearts pure when every opportunity for compromise appeared. You are one of those, and because of this, I am inviting you into a higher partnership. There, I will not only use you to awaken life, but to establish order, not only to touch souls, but to reshape territories, not only to rescue the lost, but to liberate entire systems held captive by subtle darkness. My child, in order to operate at a new level, you must let go of certain things from the old Brady. The thought patterns that once helped you survive will not help you conquer. The models that worked in the last season will become barriers in this one. Those who walked closely with you in the beginning may no longer grasp the rhythm I am now releasing within your spirit. Do not fear the loss. I only remove what no longer serves the next phase. Everything I strip away is part of preparing to give you something greater. You will have to learn to say no to what is good in order to say yes to what is anointed. You will have to learn to step away from noisy conversations so you can preserve your heart for heaven's whisper. You will have to learn to stand alone not because you are abandoned, but because you are set apart. I do not need a crowd. I need one who dares to stand rightly. And you, my child, have been chosen for that place. From now on, your very presence will be a declaration. Others will begin to sense the shift before you ever speak a word. Wherever you set foot, holiness will begin to emerge. The hidden things within the spiritual atmosphere will no longer rest undisturbed. I will cause the light in you to expose the truths that have been concealed. And when this happens, you will not need to argue. Just stand still, for I myself will contend. My child, do not resist this calling. It will not lead to your loss, but to your fullness. It does not pull you away from what is important. It draws you into what is essential. Your response in this season will shape the years ahead, not only for you, but for many souls whose destinies are tied to your mission. Enter the depths. Close the door. Meet me in the secret place, and I will give you what the world cannot find, authority born in hiddenness, but made manifest in undeniable ways. My beloved child, I am opening before you a door to a new covenant, a re-establishment of your identity in my kingdom, not merely as a servant, but as an heir. This is not a reward for striving, but the inevitable result of abiding. It is not because of your deeds, but because of our walk together, not because you have won every battle, but because you did not walk away from me in the fiercest ones. Now, I entrust you with a commission, not a directive, but a seal. I mark you with power from my throne, so that when you step into the world, all darkness will recognize that you do not come in your own name, but in the name of the Most High. Lands that once rejected life will begin to tremble beneath your feet, not because you bring persuasive speech, but because you carry heaven's authority. Understand this, my child. This commission is not an honor to be displayed, but a responsibility to be carried. I did not give you power so you could be known, but so I could be revealed. This entrustment demands that you live as one who has died to self, no longer driven by recognition, no longer manipulated by the craving to stand out, but alive solely by every breath that proceeds from me. As you embrace this new covenant, you will witness a shift, a repositioning. Relationships, places, and seasons that once felt familiar will begin to change. Not because they are wrong, but because I am lifting you to a higher plane. I am moving you into your rightful place on my divine chessboard. Do not worry if some people do not remain. Do not grieve if certain things are removed. These are signs that I am changing the backdrop to prepare for the unveiling of the new role you are about to assume. This sending will not come with trumpets or blazing lights. It will come quietly, like a seed planted deep in the earth. But you will recognize it in the trembling of your spirit. In the awakening, it stirs in those who draw near. In the rising of an unquenchable fire within you, that fire will become a pillar of flame guiding the lost through the night. And you will be the keeper of that fire. My child, I call you a keeper of the fire not because you are stronger than others, but because you did not extinguish the light in the darkest days. You held on to faith when there was no proof. You believed my word when everything contradicted it. You were faithful in the smallest things when no one was watching. Now, you will keep the fire not only for yourself, but for an entire generation that has lost its way, a generation waiting for someone to reignite hope amid their wilderness of confusion. A firekeeper does not need a platform, yet the word they carry can burn down strongholds of deception. A firekeeper does not need earthly crowns, yet the light they carry forces the spiritual realm to realign. And you, my child, will be that one humble, yet bearing authority, silent, yet piercing, unseen, yet impossible to ignore. My beloved child, I have awaited this moment for a long time. I have watched you in the shadows, observing each decision, every sigh, every time you chose to stand firm instead of collapsing. And now, I say to you, the time has come. Step forward, not with hesitation, but with certainty, not with a vague sense, but with conviction. For I, the one who has called you, go before you, stand beside you, and surround you from behind. What I am releasing this time will not be like before. It will not merely be an addition, but a transformation. It is not just a gift, it is a transfer. Not only a blessing for you, but a key for many others. I am placing into your hands things with the power to change the course of a family, a community even, a nation. But you must use them with reverence, with humility, and with holiness. You are no longer merely a seeker of truth, you are a bearer of truth. No longer just one waiting to be led, you are becoming one who prepares the way. And as you walk in full obedience, nothing can hinder what I have ordained for you. Let the wind of the Spirit lift you. Let my light shine through you. Let the voice of heaven be heard through your mouth. For the world is in need of someone willing to stand, to speak, to live as a representative of an unshakable kingdom, and you have been chosen for that purpose. My beloved, I tell you this, the time has come for you to step forward, no more waiting, no more delaying, no more hiding. This is the moment for you to rise in my name, as one who has been sent. From the moment you answered the call, heaven began to move. What was once sealed has begun to tremble. What was hidden is now coming into light. Barren lands will begin to blossom not by your own strength, but by my power flowing through you. You are no longer a lone warrior in the shadows. You are a carrier of light, and that light will drive out the darkness wherever your feet tread. Child, I have sent my angels ahead of you. You will not walk among opposing forces unprotected. Heavenly hosts have been dispatched not because of your name, but because of the mission I have placed upon you. Where there is a true calling, there will be true reinforcement. Where truth is proclaimed, heaven's gates are opened. This is the time when I equip you with new weapons, not weapons of the flesh, but of divine power. I place the sword of my word in your hand to sever chains of deception. I ignite in your heart the fire of righteousness to burn away all iniquity wherever you go. I clothe you with the armor of steadfast faith, so that no flaming arrow of the enemy can pierce your soul. And I go with you as the invisible warrior, one who has never lost a battle. From now on, you will not merely see signs, you will create them. You will not only hear prophecy, your own mouth will utter it. You will not just seek direction, you will become a guide to others. What I do in you will flow through you like ripples across water reaching dry. Thirsty souls, longing to be awakened. Still, be prepared, resistance will come. The enemy never sits idle when one awakens to their true identity. But do not fear. For the enemy you see today will fall before your eyes by my hand. Behold, I am the one who fights for you. And as I declared in my word, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10. When you face doubt, I will give you certainty. When you walk through desolate places, I will cause springs to flow in the dry ground. When doors slam shut before you, I will open new ones no one can close. And when the voice of the accuser whispers that you are not enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, I will remind you again, it is I who chose you. And what I have begun, no one can undo. You are not called to walk by instinct, but by vision, not by emotion, but by promise, not for convenience, but for anointing. There will be moments when you feel utterly alone. But remember, those called to greatness often must walk through separation. You cannot carry true glory while clinging to what is temporary. I am stripping away what is superficial, so that you may carry what is eternal. Do not look back. Do not long for old places. Do not mourn past seasons. You are stepping into a new territory, a new era, a fresh anointing. I have given you my name, and that name is above every name. Whatever you do in my name, I will seal. Wherever you go in obedience, I will go with you. And whatever you speak in holiness, I will turn into life for others. Know this, you are the carrier of the gospel of restoration, the echo of an unshakable kingdom, the bridge between broken souls and heaven's healing. And as you walk in this revelation, you will not only live, you will cause others to come alive. My beloved child, I want you to know that this moment is not a coincidence. Everything you have gone through, every wound, every delay, every season of waiting that once seemed meaningless has been laying a firm foundation for this very time. This is not the hour to doubt, but the hour to stand firm, not the time to turn back, but the time to look forward and move ahead with feet grounded upon the rock of truth. You were not created to blend into the darkness, but to shine. I did not place you in the world to disappear among the crowd, but to be a voice in the wilderness, a lamp set upon a hill. You are the bearer of something I planted in you before the foundations of the world were laid. And now, that seed is rising, as one that has matured in its season and is breaking through the soil. My child, the calling upon your life is not something you need to chase. It has already been placed within you. You don't need to search far, because what I placed inside you cannot be stolen, cannot be buried, cannot be erased. All you need to do is open your heart to recognize it and respond. Just as fire doesn't need to be given a flame, it only needs to be touched. I am the one breathing upon the spark within you, causing it to become a holy blaze that cannot be extinguished. You will feel this when you pray, a trembling from the depths, as if your soul is answering the call of life itself. You will begin to see what was once hidden become clear. Things you couldn't explain before will now fit together like the final pieces of a vision's puzzle. Every tear you have ever shed has not been wasted. They are the seeds that have watered the harvest you are now stepping into. Every prayer that once seemed to echo into emptiness has been accumulating like a heavy cloud, and I am about to pour out the rain. Do not let the lie convince you that you are not enough. You are not chosen because you are perfect, but because I am perfect. It is not your worthiness that qualifies the calling, but my eternal love and purpose. I saw every flaw in you, and I still chose you. I saw your weakness, but I also saw that my strength would be made perfect in it. I knew your fears yet. I also knew that my perfect love would cast them out. It is time for you to lay down the world's definition of who you are. You are not the product of your past, nor the limits placed on you by man. You are a sacred creation, a vessel in the hand of the Almighty. Every label others have tried to place on you does not define you. I am the one who defines you, and I call you chosen, anointed, a child of light, a bearer of the message of life. I know there will be times when the weight of this calling feels too heavy. You may feel small beneath the scale of the assignment. But remember, it is often those who seem weakest through human eyes who become the clearest vessels of my power. Moses said he couldn't speak well. Jeremiah claimed he was too young. Gideon hid in fear on a threshing floor. Yet I used them, and through them, I did what no one could have imagined. So it will be with you, not because you are the most skilled, but because you said, "Here I am," and that is enough. A heart that obeys is worth more than any degree, any talent, any strategy. For I do not search for worldly excellence, I search for a heart that is true, tender, and willing to be shaped by me. Know this, everything I am doing in you has purpose. No failure is wasted when it is laid at my feet. No wound is meaningless when offered to me. People will look at your life and know that I am alive and at work. You won't have to prove yourself, for I myself will affirm you. You won't need to strive to be heard, for I will cause your voice to carry. My beloved child, I want you to know that right now, you are no longer where you once were. My decree has been released. The veil has been lifted, and heaven's light is beginning to shine upon the path you've never walked before. Revelation is no longer distant, it is becoming the new rhythm of your heart, and this is the greatest turning point your soul has ever experienced. Look back, and you will see every trace of my guidance, dreams that once confused you, circumstances that felt contrary, people who came and went, doors that suddenly shut. None of it was random, it was all a sign. I have been shaping you, refining you through the fire, purifying you through the long night, so that today you would stand at this divine appointment where heaven and earth converge upon your life. And in this sacred place, I now declare, your new beginning is already unfolding. You need not fear what is to come, for I am not only the giver of vision, I am the one who fulfills it. You will not walk alone, for I will go before you as a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day. What I have planted in you will not be left unfinished. My word will not return void, but will accomplish the very purpose for which it was sent. Isaiah 55:11. The dreams that once lay dormant, the long-buried desires, I am breathing life into them again. Not in the old way, but through a new and sacred wind. My child, I give you a commission. You are the torchbearer. You are the trumpet call in the stillness. You are the messenger of light in the darkness. Do not think this role is too great for you, for I am your strength. When you speak, it will not be your words but mine. When you walk, it will not be your feet, but the steps led by my Spirit. When you reach out your hand, it will not be a human hand, but one carrying the power to heal, restore, and break chains. You will see what has not been seen. You will hear what has not been heard. You will know what surpasses human understanding, for I am opening the secret places of my mystery to you, not to hide them, but to entrust them. My secrets are not for the indifferent, but for the faithful. And you have been found faithful in little, so now I place you over much. You have wept in silence, so now I put a song of praise on your lips. You have walked through barren places, so now I lead you into the land of abundance. Do not hesitate any longer. Do not doubt yourself. Do not ask, "Is it really me?" For I, the Lord Jehovah, creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who names the stars and counts the hairs on your head, declare to you, yes, it is you. You are the one I have chosen from your mother's womb. You are the vessel I have prepared since the dawn of time. You are the voice I have trained in the darkness. And now, you are the light I long to shine into the world. From this moment on, your life will no longer be ordinary. Every day you live will carry the weight of eternity. Every decision you make will impact souls not only in this generation, but in generations yet to come. You are a vital link in an unbreakable chain of divine purpose. When you obey, doors will open. When you step out, the heavens will shift. When you pray, angels will be dispatched. When you worship, my throne will be established wherever you stand. And finally, my beloved child, know this: nothing can stop what I have begun in you. No word spoken, no force, no shadow can steal what I have sealed. You carry the mark of eternity, and nothing of the temporal realm can destroy it. You are mine, purchased at a great price, and I will not allow a single moment of your life to be wasted. Arise, step forward, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is rising upon you. Isaiah 60:1. The door is open. The veil has been lifted. You have waited long enough. Now, it is the world that waits for you. Thank you for receiving today's message. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue to receive the living words together. Build a strong foundation of faith and walk in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.